Haruki Murakami stands as one of the most celebrated and enigmatic writers in contemporary literature. Born in post-war Japan, his works have transcended cultural boundaries, reaching audiences across the globe. Murakami's novels, with their unique blend of surrealism, emotional depth, and existential musings, have established him as a literary giant. His influence is not limited to literary circles. It extends into popular culture, music, film, and philosophy, making him a figure of intrigue and admiration. What makes Murakami's writing truly remarkable is its universal appeal. His works resonate with readers of varied cultural backgrounds, thanks to their themes of loneliness, identity, and the search for meaning in an increasingly fragmented world. From Tokyo to New York, his stories speak to the shared human experience. His books have been translated into more than 50 languages, and he has sold millions of copies worldwide, a feat few authors achieve during their lifetimes. Murakami's writing is characterized by a seamless melding of the real and the surreal. He masterfully constructs parallel realities where talking cats, mysterious women, and shadowy government operatives coexist with mundane human struggles. His prose is deceptively simple, yet profoundly evocative, drawing readers into a world that feels both familiar and otherworldly. Music, particularly jazz and classical compositions, plays a pivotal role in his storytelling, often serving as a bridge between his characters' inner and outer worlds. Though celebrated internationally, Murakami's reception in Japan has been a mixture of reverence and skepticism. While global audiences laud his westernized style and universal themes, some traditional Japanese critics view his work as too detached from Japan's cultural essence. Despite this, Murakami has won numerous accolades, including the Franz Kafka Prize and the Jerusalem Prize, and has been a perennial favorite for the Nobel Prize in Literature. Haruki Murakami is not merely a writer but a cultural icon. His ability to blend genres, explore profound philosophical questions, and create unforgettable characters has redefined contemporary storytelling. As the world continues to grapple with themes of alienation and connection, Murakami's works offer solace, mystery, and a deep sense of wonder. Haruki Murakami was born on January 12, 1949, in Kyoto, Japan, during a period of significant cultural and economic recovery following World War II. The only child of Chiaki and Miyuki Murakami, Haruki grew up in a household that deeply valued literature. Both his parents were educators who specialized in Japanese literature, and they sought to instill a love of reading in their son from an early age. However, Murakami found himself drawn more to Western literature than to the traditional Japanese works his parents cherished. The family relocated to Ashiya, a small town near Kobe, during Murakami's childhood. This move proved formative, as Kobe was a port city with a cosmopolitan atmosphere. Murakami was exposed to Western culture, music, and ideas through the foreign residents and international influences in the city. While most Japanese children of his generation grew up reading works by national literary figures like Natsume Soseki, Murakami gravitated toward authors such as Franz Kafka, F. Scott Fitzgerald, and Raymond Chandler. These writers profoundly shaped his worldview and style. The existential themes of Kafka, the elegance of Fitzgerald's prose, and Chandler's mastery of suspense and noir would later find echoes in Murakami's novels. In addition to literature, American pop culture captivated the young Murakami. He developed a keen interest in Western films, jazz music, and the Beat Generation, a countercultural literary movement in the United States. These influences imbued him with a sense of rebellion against traditional Japanese norms and an openness to experimental forms of storytelling. Murakami enrolled at Waseda University in Tokyo, one of Japan's most prestigious institutions, to study theater arts. His academic journey, however, was unconventional. He spent much of his time not in classrooms, but immersing himself in literature and the burgeoning cultural scene of Tokyo. At Waseda, Murakami met Yoko Takahashi, who would later become his wife and lifelong partner. Their relationship became a cornerstone of his personal and professional stability. Waseda's theater program provided Murakami with a deep understanding of narrative structure and character development. His exposure to dramatic texts and scripts helped shape his approach to writing, which often resembles a cinematic unfolding of events. During his university years, Murakami developed an enduring passion for jazz music. This love led him and Yoko to open a jazz bar called Peter Cat in Tokyo after their marriage. For nearly a decade, Murakami managed the bar, where he immersed himself in the music and culture of jazz. The improvisational nature of jazz, with its freedom and spontaneity, became a metaphor for his creative process. Jazz references permeate his novels, often serving as a means of connecting characters or underscoring themes of harmony and dissonance. Murakami's transition to writing came unexpectedly. In 1978, while watching a baseball game at Tokyo's Jingu Stadium, he had what he described as a sudden epiphany. As he watched the batter hit the ball, he felt an overwhelming realization that he could write a novel. This seemingly mundane moment marked the beginning of a prolific career. That same evening, he began writing his first novel, Hear the Wind Sing, at his kitchen table, penning pages after his late-night shifts at the jazz bar. Murakami's early life and influences set the stage for his future as a global literary icon. His exposure to Western culture, combined with his Japanese heritage, gave him a unique perspective that resonated with readers across borders. His experiences in the cosmopolitan environment of Kobe and his immersion in jazz music enriched his storytelling, while his university education sharpened his narrative skills. Before Haruki Murakami became a celebrated author, his life was far removed from the world of literature. In the early years of his marriage to Yoko Takahashi, the couple decided to open a jazz bar in Tokyo called Peter Cat. Running a jazz bar was not just a job for Murakami, it was a reflection of his passion for music and an embodiment of his unconventional lifestyle. For nearly a decade, he worked tirelessly, managing the bar during the day and staying open until the early hours of the morning to entertain customers. During this time, Murakami developed a strong work ethic and an ability to observe people from all walks of life. The late-night conversations, interactions, and stories he encountered in the bar provided a treasure trove of material that would later influence his characters and narrative style. The turning point in Murakami's life came in April 1978, during a routine baseball game at Tokyo's Jingu Stadium. As he sat in the stands, watching a batter hit a clean double, Murakami experienced what he described as a sudden epiphany. He could write a novel. The moment was transformative. Despite having no prior experience or formal training as a writer, he felt an irresistible urge to put pen to paper. That very evening, after finishing his work at Peter Cat, Murakami began writing his debut novel. Without the luxury of time or a quiet space, he wrote at his kitchen table, squeezing his creative endeavors into the late hours of the night. Murakami's first novel, Hear the Wind Sing, Kaze no Yuta o Kaike, was a modest and experimental work. Written in a minimalist style influenced by American authors like Raymond Carver and Kurt Vonnegut, the novel captured the experiences of a young, aimless protagonist and his interactions with a mysterious woman. Initially, Murakami wrote the manuscript in Japanese, but felt dissatisfied with its tone. To achieve a fresh perspective, he rewrote the novel in English and then translated it back into Japanese. This unusual process lent the novel a distinct style, setting it apart from traditional Japanese literature. In 1979, Hear the Wind Sing won the Gunzo New Writers Award, marking the official beginning of Murakami's literary career. After the success of his debut novel, Murakami continued to manage Peter Cat while writing his second novel, Pinball, 1973-1980. By now, he had developed a routine of waking up early to write before heading to work. This disciplined schedule helped him produce his first two novels, which, along with A Wild Sheep Chase, 1982, formed what is now known as the Trilogy of the Rat. However, as Murakami's literary ambitions grew, he faced a pivotal decision, whether to continue running the jazz bar or dedicate himself fully to writing. In 1981, he sold the bar to focus entirely on his burgeoning career as an author. The decision marked the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. With A Wild Sheep Chase, Hitsuji o Meguraboken, Murakami's writing took on a more expansive and surreal quality. The novel blended elements of detective fiction, magical realism, and existential philosophy, establishing the core themes that would define his later works. The book was a commercial and critical success, propelling Murakami into the literary spotlight in Japan. From the outset, Murakami's writing defied categorization. His prose combined the simplicity and precision of Western modernists with a distinctly Japanese sensibility. His ability to create atmospheric settings, delve into the subconscious, and blend the mundane with the fantastical made his works unique. Murakami's early experiments with narrative voice, structure, and themes laid the groundwork for his later masterpieces. By the mid-1980s, Murakami had firmly established himself as a novelist. His decision to leave behind the jazz bar and embrace writing as a full-time profession allowed him to refine his craft and tackle more ambitious projects. The discipline he developed during his years managing Peter Cat, balancing long hours with creative work, became a hallmark of his writing process. In 1987, he published Norwegian Wood, a nostalgic and emotionally raw novel that departed from the surreal elements of his earlier works. The book's massive success in Japan catapulted Murakami to national fame but also brought him unexpected challenges, including intense media scrutiny and public attention. Murakami's journey from jazz bar owner to globally renowned author is a testament to the power of intuition, discipline, and passion. His transition to writing was not only a career shift but a profound transformation of identity. The influences from this period, his love for jazz, his Western literary inspirations, and his immersion in the rhythms of everyday life, became the foundation of his literary universe. Haruki Murakami's writing defies traditional categorizations, blending the surreal with the ordinary and Eastern traditions with Western influences. His unique voice has captivated readers worldwide, and his works often function as an intricate maze of psychological, philosophical, and fantastical elements. At the core of Murakami's style is his ability to craft deeply atmospheric narratives that resonate with universal human experiences while maintaining an enigmatic aura. Murakami's prose is deceptively simple. His sentences are clean, concise, and devoid of unnecessary ornamentation, reminiscent of modernist writers like Ernest Hemingway and Raymond Carver. Yet beneath this simplicity lies a lyrical quality that evokes profound emotions and vivid imagery. His descriptions, whether of a quiet Tokyo street or a fantastical otherworldly realm, transport readers into the heart of his stories. This balance between minimalism and poetic depth makes his works both accessible and thought-provoking. Murakami's novels often revolve around a set of core themes that explore the human condition in profound ways. Many of Murakami's protagonists are solitary figures, grappling with feelings of disconnection from society. Whether it's Toru Okada in the Wind-Up Bird Chronicle or the unnamed narrator of Hear the Wind Sing, these characters embark on introspective journeys to make sense of their isolation. Murakami frequently explores questions of identity and the search for self. Characters often undergo transformative experiences that force them to confront hidden aspects of their personalities or pasts. Romantic relationships in Murakami's stories are often tinged with melancholy and transience. In Norwegian Wood, the protagonist struggles with the emotional weight of love and death, a theme that resonates throughout Murakami's oeuvre. Time in Murakami's works is often fluid, with characters revisiting the past or grappling with memories that shape their present. This theme is particularly prominent in colorless Tsukuru Tazaki and His Years of Pilgrimage, where the protagonist seeks closure by unraveling a painful chapter of his life. Music, especially jazz, classical, and rock, plays a significant role in Murakami's storytelling. It often serves as a bridge between characters, a source of comfort, or a metaphor for life's unpredictability. Pieces like Beethoven's Archduke Trio or jazz classics by Thelonious Monk are woven into his narratives, enhancing their emotional resonance. Murakami's works are rich with recurring symbols and motifs, each carrying layers of meaning. Cats, often mysterious and otherworldly, cats symbolize intuition and the enigmatic aspects of life. Wells represent introspection and the descent into the subconscious, as seen in the Wind-Up Bird Chronicle. Parallel worlds reflect the duality of existence, challenging characters to navigate alternate realities, as in 1Q84. Shadows. In works like Kafka on the Shore, shadows embody the darker, hidden aspects of the psyche. Murakami's style is a unique fusion of Japanese and Western elements. While he draws on Japanese traditions of minimalism and Zen-inspired introspection, he also incorporates Western literary techniques such as nonlinear storytelling and pop culture references. This hybrid approach has made his work accessible to a global audience, while retaining its Japanese essence. Murakami's writing is deeply philosophical, often reflecting existential and metaphysical concerns. His characters frequently confront questions about the meaning of life, the nature of reality, and the boundaries of human experience. Influenced by thinkers like Carl Jung and Albert Camus, Murakami uses his narratives to explore the subconscious mind and the search for meaning in an indifferent universe. Murakami's literary style has drawn both praise and criticism. Admirers celebrate his ability to craft evocative, multi-layered narratives that challenge conventional storytelling. Critics, however, sometimes accuse his work of being too detached or overly reliant on certain tropes. Despite these critiques, his originality and ability to evoke emotional depth remain undeniable. Over the years, Murakami's style has matured, with his later works taking on a more reflective and philosophical tone. While earlier novels like Hear the Wind Sing were experimental and minimalist, works like 1Q84 and Killing Commendator demonstrate a broader narrative scope and thematic complexity. Murakami's first three novels, collectively referred to as the Trilogy of the Rat, marked his entry into the literary world. These works are semi-autobiographical and showcase the seeds of his later thematic and stylistic explorations. Murakami's debut novel, Hear the Wind Sing, is a short, introspective work that introduced the character known simply as the Rat. Narrated by an unnamed protagonist, the novel captures the aimlessness and existential musings of a college student during a summer vacation. The novel reflects Murakami's early experiments with narrative voice and structure. It was influenced by Western authors like Kurt Vonnegut, evident in its fragmented storytelling and minimalist prose. While the book received the Gunzo New Writers Award, Murakami himself later described it as clumsy and immature. However, it established key themes like alienation and self-discovery that would recur in his later works. In this sequel to Hear the Wind Sing, Murakami expanded on the world of the unnamed narrator and the rat. The novel explores the protagonist's obsession with a pinball machine, serving as a metaphor for his search for meaning and identity. Pinball, 1973, is notable for its surreal elements, including an otherworldly connection to the titular pinball machine. Though still considered a work of a developing author, the novel begins to exhibit the magical realism that would become a hallmark of Murakami's style. The third and final installment in the trilogy marked a significant turning point in Murakami's career. A wild sheep chase blends noir, mystery, and magical realism, featuring a narrator who embarks on a surreal quest to find a sheep with a star-shaped birthmark. This novel introduced the recurring theme of parallel realities and established Murakami's signature blend of the mundane and the fantastical. Critics hailed it as a breakthrough, with its imaginative storytelling elevating Murakami's status as a literary innovator. Norwegian Wood catapulted Murakami to unprecedented fame. A nostalgic and poignant love story, the novel revolves around Toru Watanabe and his relationships with two women, the troubled Naoko and the free-spirited Midori. Unlike Murakami's earlier works, Norwegian Wood is grounded in realism, with little to no surreal elements. Its exploration of love, loss, and mental illness struck a chord with Japanese readers, selling millions of copies. However, the novel's massive success brought Murakami challenges, including unwanted celebrity status, prompting him to leave Japan for several years. Widely regarded as one of Murakami's masterpieces, the Wind-Up Bird Chronicle is a sprawling, multi-layered novel that exemplifies his signature style. It follows Toru Okada, an unemployed man searching for his missing wife, as he delves into a labyrinth of surreal encounters and historical interludes. The novel weaves together personal and historical narratives, exploring themes of war, trauma, and the subconscious. Its richly atmospheric prose and enigmatic storytelling have made it a classic in contemporary literature. Kafka on the Shore is another cornerstone of Murakami's oeuvre, blending magical realism, philosophical musings, and intricate plotting. The novel alternates between two narratives. One follows Kafka Tamura, a runaway teenager, while the other centers on Nakata, an elderly man who communicates with cats. The book delves into themes of fate, memory, and metaphysical connections. Its dreamlike quality and open-ended interpretation have made it a favorite among readers and scholars alike. Murakami's magnum opus, 1Q84, is a sprawling trilogy set in an alternate reality. The novel follows Aomame, a fitness instructor and assassin, and Tengo, a writer, as they navigate a parallel world where two moons hang in the sky. The novel explores themes of love, power, and alternate realities, drawing inspiration from Orwell's 1984. While some critics praised its ambition, others found its length excessive. Nevertheless, 1Q84 solidified Murakami's reputation as a literary powerhouse. Murakami's later works, such as Colorless Tsukuru Tazaki and his Years of Pilgrimage, 2013, and Killing Commendator, 2017, reflect a more introspective and philosophical tone. These novels revisit familiar themes while exploring new dimensions of identity and creativity. In addition to novels, Murakami is an accomplished short story writer. Collections like Blind Willow, Sleeping Woman, and Men Without Women showcase his ability to distill complex emotions into concise narratives. His nonfiction works, such as What I Talk About When I Talk About Running and Underground, The Tokyo Gas Attack and the Japanese Psyche, offer insights into his personal life and broader social issues. Haruki Murakami's journey from a niche Japanese novelist to a global literary sensation has been nothing short of extraordinary. His works have been translated into over 50 languages, captivating readers across cultures and continents. Murakami's unique ability to blend Japanese and Western literary traditions has allowed him to transcend cultural boundaries, making him one of the most recognized and celebrated authors of his generation. Murakami's international breakthrough came with A Wild Sheep Chase, 1982. The novel's blend of magical realism, noir, and philosophical undertones resonated with Western audiences, drawing comparisons to authors like Franz Kafka and Gabriel Garcia Marquez. When Norwegian Wood was translated into English in 1989, it further solidified Murakami's global reputation. The book's exploration of universal themes like love and loss struck a chord with readers, especially in the United States and Europe. The publication of the Wind-Up Bird Chronicle in English in 1997 marked another major milestone. Its critical and commercial success in Western markets demonstrated Murakami's ability to appeal to both literary critics and general audiences. By the early 2000s, Murakami had become a literary phenomenon, with novels like Kafka on the Shore, 2002, and 1Q84, 2009 to 2010, achieving bestseller status worldwide. His works were embraced not only for their engaging narratives, but also for their introspective and philosophical depth. Murakami's stories, often filled with cultural references to Western music, literature, and films, resonated with global readers familiar with these influences. At the same time, his distinctly Japanese sensibility provided a fresh perspective, offering a bridge between cultures. Murakami's influence extends beyond literature into popular culture, film, and theater. Several of his works have been adapted into films and plays, further amplifying his reach. Films: Norwegian Wood, 2010, directed by Tran On-hung, brought Murakami's poignant love story to the screen. The visually stunning adaptation introduced his work to a broader cinematic audience. Theater: Kafka on the Shore has been adapted into acclaimed stage productions in Japan, the UK, and the US. Television and music: Murakami's references to music and pop culture have inspired playlists, radio programs, and even album titles, underscoring his impact on contemporary culture. While Murakami has received numerous accolades, including the Franz Kafka Prize, 2006, the Jerusalem Prize, 2009, and the Hans Christian Andersen Literature Award, 2016, he has yet to win the Nobel Prize for Literature, a subject of annual speculation. Despite this, His influence on global literature is undeniable. Critics frequently hail him as one of the most important writers of the late 20th and early 21st centuries. Murakami's success has paved the way for other Japanese authors to gain international recognition. Writers like Banana Yoshimoto, Yoko Ogawa, and Sayaka Murata have benefited from the global interest in contemporary Japanese literature that Murakami helped generate. His stylistic innovations and thematic explorations have also influenced a new generation of writers across the world. Authors in Asia, Europe, and the Americas have drawn inspiration from Murakami's ability to blur the boundaries between genres and explore universal human experiences. One of the reasons for Murakami's enduring popularity is his deep connection with readers. His exploration of themes like loneliness, identity, and the search for meaning speaks to universal human experiences. Fans often describe his novels as windows to the soul, offering comfort and reflection in an increasingly fragmented world. Murakami's regular interaction with his audience, through public interviews, Q&A sessions, and even a personal website, further cements his relationship with his readers. While Murakami is celebrated worldwide, some critics have argued that his work is more appreciated abroad than in his native Japan. Traditional Japanese literary critics have sometimes dismissed his style as too westernized or commercially oriented. However, his ability to merge cultural sensibilities has also been seen as a strength, making his works accessible to diverse audiences. Murakami's legacy as a global author is secure. His ability to transcend cultural and linguistic barriers has positioned him as a leading figure in world literature. Through his works, Murakami has shown that stories can connect people across time, place, and culture, making him a true literary bridge between East and West. Haruki Murakami's formative years in post-war Japan had a profound influence on his worldview and literary sensibilities. Growing up in a period of rapid modernization, Murakami experienced firsthand the tension between traditional Japanese values and the influx of Western culture. This duality shaped his unique voice, blending Eastern introspection with Western narrative techniques. As an only child, Murakami developed a love for reading early on, delving into Japanese literature while also exploring translations of American and European classics. This eclectic reading habit laid the foundation for his later works, which often juxtapose Japanese settings with Western cultural references. Murakami's passion for music, particularly jazz, has been a defining aspect of both his personal life and his writing. In his late 20s, Murakami and his wife, Yoko, opened a jazz bar in Tokyo called Peter Cat. The experience of running the bar not only shaped his understanding of human interactions, but also deepened his appreciation for jazz as an art form. Jazz, with its improvisational and unpredictable nature, has a direct parallel in Murakami's storytelling. The rhythm and flow of his prose often mimic the structure of a jazz performance, and his works are peppered with references to jazz legends like Thelonious Monk and Miles Davis. Murakami's wife, Yoko Takahashi, has played an integral role in his life and career. The couple met during their college years and have been inseparable ever since. Yoko has been a constant source of support, acting as Murakami's first reader and confidant. Their relationship, marked by mutual respect and collaboration, mirrors the quiet yet profound partnerships often depicted in Murakami's novels. While Murakami rarely writes explicitly about his personal life, the stability and companionship he shares with Yoko are evident in the enduring themes of love and connection in his works. Murakami's disciplined approach to writing has been a cornerstone of his career. He maintains a rigorous daily routine, waking early to write for several hours before engaging in physical exercise, such as running or swimming. This balance between mental and physical activity reflects his belief in the importance of endurance and focus, qualities he also associates with long-distance running. His memoir, What I Talk About When I Talk About Running, delves into his daily practices and philosophy, offering readers a glimpse into the dedication behind his prolific output. Writing for Murakami is not merely a creative act but a lifestyle built on discipline and perseverance. Murakami has often spoken about the importance of solitude in his creative process. Unlike many authors who thrive in social or collaborative environments, Murakami finds inspiration in isolation. This preference for solitude is mirrored in his characters, who are often introspective and solitary individuals navigating their inner worlds. Living abroad for several years, including stints in the United States and Europe, allowed Murakami to further cultivate this sense of detachment. His time away from Japan provided him with a fresh perspective on his homeland, influencing works like Norwegian Wood and the Wind-Up Bird Chronicle, which grapple with themes of cultural identity and personal displacement. Murakami's extensive travels have enriched his storytelling, allowing him to incorporate diverse cultural elements into his narratives. His novels often feature international settings or characters who are deeply influenced by Western literature, music, and philosophy. Traveling has also deepened Murakami's understanding of universal human experiences, which he translates into his exploration of loneliness, love, and the search for meaning. Murakami rarely discusses personal tragedies publicly, but his works suggest a deep engagement with themes of grief, trauma, and healing. His characters often grapple with loss, whether through the death of a loved one, the dissolution of relationships, or existential crises. Norwegian Wood was inspired in part by Murakami's memories of college friends who struggled with mental health issues. Similarly, the historical tragedies interwoven into the Wind-Up Bird Chronicle reflect Murakami's broader engagement with the painful legacies of war and societal upheaval. While Murakami is known for his reserved and private demeanor, he has occasionally used his platform to address social and political issues. In his nonfiction work Underground, The Tokyo Gas Attack and the Japanese Psyche, Murakami explored the 1995 sarin gas attack on the Tokyo subway, giving voice to survivors and examining the societal factors that contributed to the tragedy. This work demonstrates Murakami's empathy and commitment to understanding human suffering beyond the confines of fiction. His decision to write about such a harrowing event underscores his belief in literature's ability to foster understanding and healing. Murakami's personal interests in philosophy, spirituality, and psychology have profoundly influenced his storytelling. Drawing on thinkers like Carl Jung and Eastern spiritual traditions, Murakami often explores the subconscious mind and the metaphysical aspects of existence. This introspective lens is evident in works like Kafka on the Shore and Killing Commendator, where characters embark on journeys that blur the boundaries between reality and the spiritual realm. Despite his global fame, Murakami has remained intensely private. He avoids public appearances and interviews, choosing instead to let his works speak for themselves. This deliberate separation of his personal and professional lives mirrors the introspective nature of his writing and underscores his belief in the power of storytelling as a solitary act. Haruki Murakami's literary legacy is a testament to his ability to weave universal themes with a distinct voice. His exploration of alienation, love, and the human condition, combined with his seamless blend of realism and surrealism, has left an indelible mark on contemporary literature. As one of the most translated and globally celebrated authors of the modern era, Murakami's impact extends far beyond Japan, influencing readers, writers, and artists across the world. Murakami has redefined the global perception of Japanese literature. Before his rise to prominence, Japanese literary exports were dominated by canonical figures such as Yukio Mishima, Yasunari Kawabata, and Kenzaburo Oi, whose works often focused on traditional Japanese aesthetics and historical themes. Murakami's novels, in contrast, introduced a fresh, modern sensibility, characterized by Western cultural influences, contemporary settings, and relatable characters. This shift broadened the appeal of Japanese literature, attracting younger and more diverse readers globally. Murakami's success has encouraged publishers and translators to invest in other contemporary Japanese authors, creating a surge in interest in modern Japanese fiction. Murakami's distinctive style has inspired a generation of writers, both in Japan and abroad. His ability to merge the mundane with the surreal has influenced authors like David Mitchell, Cloud Atlas, and Neil Gaiman, The Ocean at the End of the Lane, who share his fascination with parallel realities and metaphysical questions. Emerging Japanese authors like Sayaka Murata, Convenience Store Woman, and Hiroko Oyamada, The Whole, have also drawn from Murakami's themes of alienation and societal critique, though they reinterpret these ideas through their unique perspectives. Murakami's works have challenged and expanded the boundaries of literary genres. His seamless integration of magical realism, mystery, and philosophical inquiry has created a hybrid style that resists categorization. This genre-blurring approach has inspired other authors to experiment with narrative forms and storytelling techniques. Murakami's works have transcended the confines of literature to become a cultural phenomenon. His novels have inspired adaptations in film, theater, and art, while his characters and motifs have permeated popular culture. Iconic elements like talking cats, mysterious wells, and alternate realities are instantly recognizable symbols associated with Murakami's literary universe. The thematic depth of his stories has also made them popular subjects for academic studies, with scholars analyzing his works through lenses of postmodernism, existentialism, and psychoanalysis. Murakami's exploration of universal themes such as loneliness, identity, and the search for meaning ensures his relevance across generations. His characters' struggles with existential questions resonate with readers in an increasingly complex and interconnected world. For younger generations grappling with issues of isolation in the digital age, Murakami's depiction of solitude offers a mirror and a source of solace. His works encourage readers to confront their inner worlds and seek connections beyond the surface level. While Murakami has received numerous prestigious awards, his absence from the Nobel Prize roster has been a topic of annual debate. Regardless, his influence on global literature is undeniable. Awards such as the Franz Kafka Prize and the Jerusalem Prize underscore his role as a bridge between cultures, celebrated for his exploration of universal human experiences. Murakami's works have become staples in university curricula worldwide. Courses on contemporary literature often include his novels as case studies in genre innovation, cross-cultural storytelling, and philosophical inquiry. Scholars frequently cite his ability to capture the zeitgeist of modern society while addressing timeless questions about humanity. Murakami's engagement with philosophical ideas has left a lasting impression on both readers and intellectuals. His use of Jungian archetypes, exploration of existential themes, and incorporation of Zen Buddhist concepts offer rich material for philosophical reflection. Through his characters' journeys, whether it's Toru Okada descending into a well in the Wind-Up Bird Chronicle or Kafka Tamura seeking his destiny in Kafka on the Shore, Murakami invites readers to explore their subconscious and confront the mysteries of existence. Murakami's legacy is perhaps best reflected in the loyalty and passion of his readers. His ability to evoke deep emotional responses has created a global community of fans who find personal meaning in his works. Book clubs, online forums, and fan gatherings dedicated to Murakami demonstrate the unique bond he shares with his audience. This enduring connection ensures that his stories will continue to inspire and resonate with future generations, offering solace and insight in an ever-changing world. As Murakami continues to write and publish, his influence on the literary world grows. His works, with their timeless appeal and profound depth, will likely remain essential reading for decades to come. Murakami's legacy is not merely that of a novelist, but of a thinker and storyteller who has shaped the way we perceive and articulate the human experience. Murakami's global recognition is unparalleled, with his works translated into over 50 languages. His ability to bridge Eastern and Western sensibilities has made him a literary phenomenon, inspiring authors worldwide and redefining Japanese literature for a global audience. His novels' universal themes, alienation, the search for meaning, and the complexities of human connection, have created an enduring connection with readers across cultures and generations. Despite his fame, Murakami remains intensely private, valuing solitude and discipline in his writing process. His passion for music, running, and philosophical exploration deeply influences his works, often reflected in his characters' journeys. His memoir, What I Talk About When I Talk About Running, provides a glimpse into his meticulous lifestyle and creative philosophy. Murakami's legacy extends beyond his novels. His works have inspired films, theater productions, and academic studies, highlighting his profound impact on global culture and literature. Although he has not received the Nobel Prize for Literature, his accolades, including the Franz Kafka Prize and the Jerusalem Prize, affirm his role as one of the most influential writers of our time. Haruki Murakami's stories, marked by their depth, surrealism, and humanity, continue to captivate readers, ensuring his place as a timeless figure in literary history.